Hello guys, Matthew here and welcome back again to the TechTick YouTube channel. Not everyone wants or can go that extra mile and pay for a super duper version of a graphics card, but rather just get a plug and play, do what it's supposed to model, and just one like that I will be checking out today, that being Asus GTX 1050 Expedition model. This is my first encounter with their Expedition sub-series, so to speak. As far as I know, last generation didn't have any GPU products under that wing. Packaging design is new, reminds me somewhat of their Republic of Gamers brand on account of the red color use. On the front you will find a mention of included World of Warship code for a free 15-day premium account. While going to the back you can see a brief overview of card's features alongside of some technical specifications and a layout of video output connections. Taking a peek inside of the box, beside the user manual and optical disc with drivers and software, you will also get that aforementioned voucher for the game, and that's basically it for the bundle. Finally, here's the graphics card itself. As you can see, the cooler design is fairly simple. We have this 2-slot high box-like outer plastic cover, which has a few red details for more appealing and aggressive aesthetics, while beneath it you will find a very simple heatsink design since GTX 1050 series has a low TDP, just a big chunk of aluminum with heatsink fins on it, no heat pipes making direct contact with the GPU and memory chips. Blowing over them we have two 90mm fans which have 0 RPM, 0 dB mode, just like its brother from higher tier Strix sub-series. Since it's coming as a more affordable alternative of GTX 1050 series from Asus, this model doesn't carry a backplate on its other side, so no surprises here, while it also doesn't have any kind of lighting or other additional similar features. Speaking of missing things, PC Express power connector is not present either, although it looks like it could have it on account of this cutout and blank solder points for the connector, which is kinda odd since even the GTX 1050 Ti version of Expedition series doesn't carry one, so I don't understand why they've made this cutout. Lastly, for video outputs you'll get DisplayPort, HDMI and DVI-D ports. Taking the graphics card finally for a spin and putting it onto my benchmarking rig, using Asus GPU Tweak 2 software I've loaded up its OC mode with which I did my base testing. This profile bumps up the GPU speed for around 40 MHz, while the card itself comes in factory overclocked at 1354 MHz of base and 1455 MHz of boost clock, which is also your so to speak default gaming mode profile. In real life scenario, this translates into around 1750 MHz of low GPU frequency on account of Nvidia's GPU Boost 3.0 technology. Taking it a step further, in terms of manual overclocking, I managed to get just above 2100 MHz for the memory, which is a decent bump from 1752 MHz, while for the GPU I was roaming around 1850 MHz on average with these settings here. This overclocking result is somewhat below your usual figures for the GTX 1050 series, and I would pin that to the fact that it doesn't have any additional PC Express power connector, so lack of power could potentially be one to blame. Performance-wise, the card basically performs as any other aftermarket GTX 1050 in terms of its out-of-the-box settings, while it's down a frame or two in terms of results which incorporate manual overclocking, as it has a bit lower maximal GPU overclocking frequency and potential. Checking out the cards, or to be more precise, cooler's cooling capabilities, idle temperature was mostly below 40 degrees Celsius, with fans being off. Under full load, it barely came close to 60 degrees Celsius in firmware stress testing, while under games, it just crossed the 50 degrees Celsius mark with fans spinning at around 900 RPM, and they seem to turn on somewhere around 55 degrees Celsius, while they go back off again around 50 degrees Celsius or lower, making the card overall really quiet during operation. That's it guys for this time from me. Thank you once again for checking out my review of Asus GTX 1050 Expedition graphics card. Feel free to toss me a thumbs up if you like this video, that really helps me a lot. Leave a comment down below if you have any questions about the product, and of course, if you would like to see more content like this, you can subscribe to the TechTick YouTube channel, or you can just check out some of my other videos from before.